Here's a custom turbo build that I did for a jet ski turbo. This turbo was an IHI turbo, but I machined it out for a Garrett GTX 2867R center cartridge, which is basically it's a dual ball bearing turbo that's good for around 475 horsepower. The exhaust housing will have to be drilled and tapped for the bolts and the brackets to thread on so that it will retain the center cartridge. But it is a pretty interesting and pretty cool build that you probably won't see very often. A couple other things you could do with this turbo is with the IHI ones, usually you can actually still use the V-band and then just use like a Mitsubishi 16G or a 20G, and just I can machine that turbine housing for that turbine wheel and the center cartridge a lot easier than doing a build like this. This build probably took me 2 to 3 hours, maybe even 4 hours to do all the machining because I didn't know how far deep I was going to have to go. I just did everything manually on this build because I didn't know how the center cartridge was going to sit in here. I made a custom plate to be able to mount this turbine housing to the machine, so now I can do a lot of different variations of upgrades for whatever turbine housing this is. It just is kind of an interesting build that you probably won't see very often, at least I wouldn't, because we mostly just build them for cars and trucks and stuff. We very rarely do some for a build like this, but it's something interesting that I just wanted to show you guys what's possible that you can do with these turbos. The turbine housing on this turbo is also water cooled, which is something that you don't see very often, but it's actually very common with watercrafts and boats and things like that that have turbochargers.